an element, it means that are you watching positive things or are you watching negative things? And it's all going to determine on our output. So if you were to just fill this out and just choose a word that describes your personality, I'll show you how we work in the wellness business right here.
Oh, thank you. Do we have anything hard of this that you can write?
Yeah, a book. I think if I have another one.
Pleasure.
Well, you have some water.
I have some lemon juice.
That's fine. I love that
Lemonade.
lemon juice. And I like to say that this is how we work inside the salon, each and every time. Because these personality and lifestyles will constantly evolve. But we have total control of our personality and our lifestyle. And lots of times people sometimes don't think we have the control. Yes, we do. We can turn off the TV if you don't like. We can actually shut off and not even listen to what I'm even saying if you didn't want to hear. But what I'm about to share with you truly is about positive energy. Okay? Feng Shui literally means wind and water. The wind is your breath, and the water is basically 75% of what we're made out of. Each of these 5 elements we embody. So when you end up seeing how it says inner chi, some people have said, well, why are you changing the name? And it's not. We're not changing our name from Yamaguchi. It's just we're talking about your inner essence. So each of these 5 elements that we embody, fire is the chi, it's the energy, the earth is the ashes that we will go back to. The metal, it's 78 minerals we're born with, 44 from the sea, 34 from the land. We are at least 75% water. The wood element, people might think of like the chairs that you might be sitting on wood, but it's not. It's the oxygen that we breathe. Each of those 5 elements basically has a word that you just filled out, has a color, a shape, a body part, so that we can customize an actual beauty service just for you. So, like I said, my word is passion. Okay? So when I think of passion, I'm not asking for your favorite color, which is basically your second question. I'm asking for the color that describes your word. So when I think of passion, I think of the color red. Okay? So most of the time as I've traveled globally, people will choose their hair color because I'm a colorist. They'll choose their favorite color, which is the number 1 way. And they might choose their house color because they think of Feng Shui. I'm not speaking about that. I'm asking you, if you think of your word, what color would you give it? Okay? And then my third question is the way you live. I live on the go. We have a number of salons. I live very artistically. I live very creatively. How do you live? And the number 1 way of thinking is, how do I want to live? That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, how are you living now? So the thought would be is that I live on the go. So when I think of go, I think of green light. What color would you choose to describe your word? Now, I'm going to ask you, how many of you all chose green or sage color or hunter green or any of that? You did? You did? That's fine. Stick with your word. Yeah, you did. Right? Okay? And it's either for your personality or for your lifestyle. So the green that you chose is somebody who's usually very social, playful. They usually can be in management where they can great at moving projects along. Okay? I'm green. Okay? If you're to get a massage, you want to get a massage from your throat to your sternum, which means to get things off of your chest, off of your back. So that's where we would massage. We would use a certain oil, an aroma that would be like spearmint, pine, eucalyptus, that would be just for you. When we were to cut your hair, if I can have you just stand up, I'll just show you something and how we would work inside the salon. You can see Here it is, Francis. You can see Francis has very great hair. It's thick and it's strong. Okay? So I know that. But what a lot of people might do is they might just cut her regularly, and then because her hair is so thick, it'll look like one cut, it'll look like another cut. But let's just say Francis wants to grow her hair out a little bit longer. My suggestion to her would be very simple. I would end up getting a scissor that is similar to what some people might think they know when they go into a salon. They think of this scissor, but I wouldn't use this scissor on you, Francis. I would use this scissor. Because wood people, normally that choose that element, like to have things that are a little bit more free-flowing. And you know that your hair doesn't do that because it's so thick. So I would get this scissor like this, and I'm not going to cut, but I would bend her hair. See where this bend is? This is her oomph. So if I was to cut right here, it would create a short piece inside there, but it would leave her hair left long. So Francis could actually end up having it to where it can get longer, where it can actually have more movement. Where most hairdressers will just get a straight scissor and just cut your hair, and it just looks very blocked. And in essence, my recommendation would be is have it just cut into. And as I've been doing these type of talks, a lot of people in the community say, oh, well, you know, I can't afford to go to Yamaguchi. That's their perception. Okay? That is their perception. But that's their perception of me. So as I've been doing this for the last year and a half, speaking because I've been having more opportunities to talk in our own community, I shared with them, I know that the average haircut and color is anywhere between $135 to $150, which is like us. But a lot of people don't think that. And so we ended up meditating on this, and as I meditated, the name Bob came about, and I now know what it's supposed to mean. It means Billy's own beauty specialty. So if you have friends that say, oh God, I'd love to be able to go into Inner-Chi or Yamaguchi's, you can share with them there is that price range that they're able to come in. And what they do is they get myself consulting and making a suggestion, but my team members will do the work where I will oversee it, almost like a sous chef and a chef. Okay? And I feel that has worked out beautifully in our company. When it comes to color on you, this is very important what I'm about to share with you, because your skin tone is more on the honey side. What do I mean by that? Is that look at when I do this. Let me show you. See how attractive this looks on her? Okay, doesn't it? It looks really good. Why I'm showing you that is because see how you have silver? See how she has silver? She should wear gold. Okay? Do I have my mirror right here so that you can see? Yes. I just wanted to show you because this is where I'm speaking to a lot of corporations right now, because we're in a global financial earthquake out there where people are not knowing how to spend their money, or they're saving it. And I'm out to share with people how to value and spend their money wisely. So if I show you this, Francis, you hold that perfect, and I show you my gold ring, you can see how the gold and the brown, the gold and the orange looks really attractive. So we all have 3 seconds to make our first impression. So my suggestion is for you to actually end up wearing that. Look how attractive she also looks in cream. Okay. But see how she said white?
Yeah.
I want to show you this because this is not white. This is cream. Yeah. Okay? White is this.
White.
Yeah. You don't want to wear white. You want to wear cream. Okay? Even on young ladies like this, because I just finished because my daughter's getting ready to attend Lorena. I want you all to know, young ladies, that let's just say you're naturally gifted and smart. People don't see smart. They only see what they see in a matter of 3 seconds. So the thought would be is that when people are out trying to end up getting a job, the thought would be is that they want to make sure you have the best 3 seconds. So even as like my daughter's aging, I want her to try to get all this information that I'm gathering as I'm traveling globally for them to have it. Because even let's just say somebody doesn't have the intellect, but the intellect is all on paper. If you look great within that first 3 seconds, you have a stronger chance on getting the job than not getting the job. Amazing stuff. I'd like to ask you, how many of you all chose navy to dark blue to black? Navy to dark blue to black. Okay? No? None of you? Okay, that's fine. Because as I'm speaking about these elements, you're going to end up seeing, oh wow, that's my friend so-and-so, or that's my husband, or that's my boyfriend. You're going to see these energies, and I'm going to share with you what feeds an element, okay? Because as we get to know, because you're wood like myself, I'm very social, but there's yin and yang in each of those 5 elements. So when I was growing up in Japan, and I was a young one like yourself, I didn't speak that much. Because in Japan, the culture, you don't speak until spoken to. Father in the military, the thought would be is that there's a lot of order. Now that I'm a man, I feel I've got something to say. So I'm speaking up a lot more. So sometimes in that wood element, some people have more asthmatic because they hold things down rather than get things off of their chest. Okay? The water element has to do with the third eye to the throat. They're the thinkers. They're the listeners. They're the visionaries. Okay? So the gentlemen that are usually like, say, CEOs and all, lots of times they are forward thinkers. Because in Asia, water is considered wisdom, knowledge. So you always, or water is also money. So you always want water moving. So even in this financial global earthquake that I've mentioned to you all, water needs, people need to keep spending it. But they need to spend it on value. And that's what my job is to share with them how they're going to end up getting value from us. Their look is chic. So if you look at, like, say, I don't know what's on right now, but if you look at the recent head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Phil Jackson, I've been doing his hair for the last 11 years. He's our kid's honorary godfather. How our relationship ended up connecting was over at our Ojai Valley Inn there at that time. But when we saw Phil at the beginning, he was very earth, very ruling. Now you look at him, you know, he had his goatee when he came, or when I finished up with him, we cropped him off, gave him a whole new image for Los Angeles. So it looked more chic. So anybody that chooses water element, they should have a professional, but a look that has a little bit more of an edge. Not so professional that they look so Tony Robbins years back. Okay? And now if you look at Tony's, because we did his makeover, you look at him, and you end up seeing he's got a goatee, he's cropped off, he's marketing himself to a different generation. So as we are all evolving, like I've been with my wife for the last 27 years, we're not the same people as we were 27 years ago. We have 2 beautiful children, we have salons, we have a number of things that are evolving. Okay? So this is why change is a must. So how many of you all chose white to silver to gold? Any of you all? Okay? This is a metal element. People that are very regimented. You know, you see them with the side part. Everything is very corporate. Okay? You usually see them like attorneys, doctors, dentists, CPAs, engineers. Okay? Because as I've been traveling globally, I've been able to see a pattern on how people look and put themselves together. Okay? Or the car that they might end up driving. So you see these people sometimes at the country club. Sometimes their hair is so perfect that they're not approachable. So sometimes these people, to me, as artists, they need to know what their balancing element is, which is going to be fire, which is coming up, and I will share with you. How many of you all chose yellow to orange to brown? Okay? Yourself. Perfect. You too. Right? Amber. Okay. Amber? Okay. Is that
number one color? I put amber. I don't know.
Is that amber more red or more brown?
I think it's more brown. More brown.
More brown. Okay. So you choose the earth element. Let me have you come up. I'll bring you up in just a second. Okay? So she chooses an earth element, okay, which means that the hairstyle that she has, she can feel comfortable on just pulling it back, kind of weekend style. It can be very, very natural and organic. Okay? These people are usually givers. They will give of themselves a lot. They will have to watch it because eventually their teacup of giving will be empty because they're too busy giving all the time. Okay? So we say in order to refill your cup is to get what we call vitamin T, vitamin touch. Okay? But there's some people that don't like to be touched. Like I was brought up in Japan where we bow. The thought would be is that, see, she likes it, so I can continue to keep doing it. But for people that don't appreciate it, we share with them to go to the mountains, the desert, the ocean, gardening, stick their hands in Mother Earth, because it doesn't always have to be from a human, because all of a sudden somebody might have lost somebody, a breakup, so they don't have anybody. So you can go to Mother Earth. And this is why we say at Yamaguchi's, that's why it's so important for us to take care of Mother Earth. Okay? But with her being Earth, usually Earth people usually don't go too far off their own natural color. They like to stay simple. But I would like to say that because what balances Earth is us, wood, because Earth people like to stay within their own home, their own mesh, they need to get out. So what I would share with her is this, which would be a lot of fun, because I would then give her hair, okay, twist it like this. I just wanted to show her something. Just grab this. Okay, and I'm going to turn your profile for just a second. So turn it just like that. But when I were to actually color her hair, she can keep doing whatever she's doing, but I would like to do what we call wood techniques, which would mean that to make the coloring, the foiling, the highlights be more separated in there, so that they're not like all of a sudden really close together, where all of a sudden it just looks like one solid color. Keep it to where it's more separated. So if I were to actually end up showing her a picture of something like that, I could probably show her, let's see, because her skin, your skin is more on the warmer side, okay? And so I would do more of a warmer color on your hair, but I would see it, and I'd want to end up having the streaks be a little bit more separated. See how this has got gold in it, but it's spread out? See how it's gold, it's got more spread out? You can end up doing that. And then what we say in Feng Shui, where you place your coloring and your cutting technique makes a difference. Because if you look at her face shape, can you see it's more square? Can you see that? So with it being more square, the thought would be is that a lot of people, if they just put the highlights here on the sides, what does light colors do? Light expands dark narrows. So that's why you see people wear black to make them look narrow. So on your face, I would end up doing her streaks up on the top part to help elongate. That's why she's wearing this V right here. It's smart. Whether she's doing it consciously or unconsciously, it looks better on her because it makes her face shape longer. Because with these fringes, these bangs, if she were to wear a blouse that was up high, look how small her face looks. Okay? So it's all these little things that can make a huge difference. Okay? And then I'll end up bringing yourself up. But once again, this is what we will say is the new generation, you know, or I'd like to say Yamaguchi, because with all this information, it allows them to know when they go into a salon what they should actually achieve. I love her hair left long. And right now, what we're focused on right now is to end up having the hair kept left longer. And I will end up showing you all where I think hair is going as far as a direction on medium to long lengths. I'd like to see your hair grow, okay? But have it where it's like this, okay? Where it's cut into and broken up. Could be really fun. Not only that, I would call it more like a bohemian style, not a hippie, or if I'm going to say hippie, I'm going to say rich hippie. I wanted to see, more of a bohemian style, but left long. And how I would do it is just like I ended up saying on Frances's hair. I would like to have it to where we would get her hair, because you can see when somebody cut it, okay, they cut it, which is a norm, they cut it here, and then all of a sudden look how long it is down here. So there's a big gap. So what I would do is I would end up getting her hair, and I would get the scissor, and not this scissor. And a lot of people have this scissor, so this is what they're going to do, and this is where some people say, oh, that ruins my hair. Yeah, it makes it look like shredded wheat. So not this scissor, but this scissor. And then I would bend it, and I would cut right here. And I would do it through her whole hair, and it would make her hair look longer. Okay? And then when I taught color, I would only talk color, okay? Because younger ones that are on television, they are coloring their hair for lighting and all that. But if they're not doing any of that, keep it organic and buy good products. Because we believe at Energy or Yamaguchi's, we believe what goes onto the skin goes into the skin. So our soy shampoo would be fantastic on her. It has no sodium lauryl sulfites inside of it. We feel like we actually are the forerunners, because for over 20 years we haven't had it in our products. Now it's the big wave right now, because it can actually help stripping color out, which a lot of the baby boomers have color in the hair. So our product has cherry in it, which is more healing. And then I would put a bamboo mask on it, which has pure lavender in it, which lavender is calming on it. And that's what I would do, okay? And keep it left long. And keep your hair darker. I love that. So that's what I would recommend. And then how many of you all chose red to violet to purple? Or bright pink? You did? Okay, perfect. So you chose fire and earth. Okay? And earth.
She did fire.
And then she chose fire. One of the things I could teach you, one more thing, come right over here, at a young age, is this. Lots of times, like when some people will go to cotillion and all, if you go from your hairline to your chin, this tells you how much you can actually open up your blouse. Okay? But because people choose fire, sometimes people that have fire, they're more confident. They don't mind being a little bit more expressive. So when somebody's more conservative, they might say, oh my gosh, I can't believe what she's doing. But it's about energy. So knowing that, it's my way of being able to coach them on what is basically a nice opening. If they're going to be, say, going to the bank, going for a loan, or they're going to church, go from your hairline, from your eyebrow, to your chin. That's the minimum. It should be opened up. Or necklaces, the same thing.
Maximum.
Maximum would be correct. Would be the length on the whole face. The eyebrows to the chin would be the minimum, correct?
No, in general.
In general. Yeah. Okay, so right about there.
Okay.
I'm always utilizing my mother-in-law because she's my English. Well, she's an English major, so I have to watch out on how I speak. But she's done a great job with me because being dyslexic, we've written 2 books together, and just for you young ones, you never want to ever give up. You keep moving forward. Just put yourself around people that are bright and help you out. What element did you choose, if I may
Color,
ask?
color. I love pale pink.
Pale pinks, okay, which is a metal element.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay, because the metal element, those people are about being efficient, organized, structured, and they like to get things done. Okay?
Oh, I don't know.
It must not be that
What
pale.
she likes.
It's not that. Maybe
pale.
it's what I aspire to be.
Because what we say is either this is what you need,
Yeah, that
or
must
who
be
you
it.
are.
Oh,
And
I
then
get
sometimes one can actually marry that type of personality or lifestyle trait that are more regimented. Okay?
Wow.
So,
Must be what I truly aspire to.
so then what
But
other,
that was pale
what other
pink.
color did you
Color.
choose?
Oh, and then I put opalescent. So any of the the pale blue, pale pink, pale what else is in opal? All of those opalescent
So
colors.
you know what?
That's
Then
what I love.
This is what you're telling me, because as I travel globally, you're still choosing the metal element. When people choose a rainbow, and they use the word rainbow, we're usually talking about, oh, I can't pick up. This is that one. What it's sharing with me is when you end up getting a massage, you want your feet and your calves, because it's about your foundation. And I don't know what it means, but I mean, I should say, I don't know what, why you picked it, but you picked it. And so just being the messenger to share with you, it's about your foundation. And I have to say, make sure, whatever's going on, to focus and be more structured on what's happening. When it comes to your hair, I'd have to say, keep it classic. Keep it simple. It's almost that way. It's almost like one lane on your hair. But what you could do is that if you wanted to kind of like spice it up.
Here I go.
Right.
So because and then look at and the opposite of metal. Okay, opposite of metal, when you think of it, metal is not bendable, is fire. The fire melts the metal. So sometimes, I will joke and play, but if I go from her hairline to her chin, okay, more fire. So if she were to say, you know what, I do, aspire to have some fire, some form of passion in my life, or when it comes to her hair, because that's what I focus on, I would like to say she can keep it left long. I wouldn't mind seeing it broken up a little bit, as long as you don't mind working with your hair. I think would look fantastic. The other thing is that I would accent it right around the perimeter of your face. And I'll show you a picture of what I mean by that. But I don't mean this exact color, but I mean this kind of emotion, okay, this kind of feeling. And I'll show you all, because she ended up choosing, thank you so much, she ended up choosing that metal. I'm going to share with her what is the actual opposite of that particular element. And that would be is that she can accent it right around the perimeter, okay? Right around the perimeter. Right around the perimeter, she could accent it, okay? Or if that was a little bit too extreme, here's another one. She could be very, very kind of subtle, okay? Kind of subtle right through here. But what I'm sharing is that you could do it subtle like this, but just right around the perimeter. Or, this is a little bit more extreme, but to share with somebody, this is kind of like what I'm speaking about. So that this way you can still have it simple, but yet having it to where it looks a little bit more expressive. Because if you don't mind expressing and feeling confident with your body, which is great, the thought would be is that to accent it a little bit. And it's not something that she has to do each and every time. But she could come into, once again, on that Bob's program between $135 and $150 and get it cut, get it colored, and get it foiled for that price. And a lot of people think, I didn't think I could go into, once again, Yamaguchi or Yamaguchi's to get them. Yes, they can. And that's why one of my good clients, who is here in Santa Paula, said, you know what, Billy, you need to make sure that you go out and you put that up and let people know, because some people have a tendency of just thinking immediately that you can't, that they can't afford to come to Yamaguchi's. Where there's a lot of people, I'd like to say, that are some of our good clients that kind of jokingly say, you can't afford not to go into Yamaguchi's or Inner Chi. But that's not what I want to be said. I want people to feel comfortable, coming in and getting a great experience. What did you choose, Peter?
I choose blue, but more of a, not the dark blue like your shade.
The lighter blue, pastel. So once again, just only that color twice?
No, and then the other one was more like a brown.
A brown. So let me have you come up as well, okay? Because if you notice, that's one of the things that the editor of Vogue magazine was speaking about me that I didn't realize. I focus only on the positive, if you notice. Everything that I'm speaking about each and every one of you, the people that I touch, positive. That's it. And the reason why I say that is because when you think positive, positive things happen. And it's proven scientifically. And so that's why I want to be about a science. you have a great look to yourself. There's no questions about it. You have that 3 seconds. The thought would be is that because you chose that pale blue, which is a metal element, somebody that can be reserved. Okay? Right? You know that? You know yourself better than I do. But the thought would be is in C that you also chose earth, which is also another reserved element, which means that somebody who's very motherly, very nurturing. And then to look at your culture would be another thing, because I'm half Portuguese, half Japanese. So the thought would be is that now I know, because as a Japanese, I think that they're more reserved, but as a Spanish blood, I think they're more like, more expressive. And so I'm grateful that I'm in an industry that I'm able to do that. Whereas before, I didn't know what I would do. I'd probably be like, going crazy inside this body. But now, unfortunately, I'm an outlet. So for yourself, she has beautiful eyes. She has Bambi eyes, doe eyes. So as an artist, I would really focus on that. Okay? And how would I do that? You can actually end up keeping your hairline slightly a little darker. Okay? And the darkers will make your eyes stand out. That's why you put the dark on yourself. All right, in order to bring them out or to make them smaller. But your eyes are really pretty, so I would really focus on that. I would keep your hair left long, like I mentioned on hers, and it could be kind of like where I'm going with hair, but it just depends on the individual. But I'd like to keep your hair left long, but I'd love to actually suggest cut into it, like I just mentioned right here. And I know some people might say, well, golly, he's doing everybody's, but the texture is different. The energy, personality, and lifestyle is different. That's what's going to set your hairstyle different from each person. The other thing would be is that when it comes to your look, as you mature, you will have to look at your history of family. Because if you're the type that your face becomes more gaunt, more narrow, I would have to say you will have to watch it, because the darker can make it look too gaunt. So then I would end up putting some lighter pieces around the perimeter of your hair. But also what would be fun, let's just say if we were to go outside the box with her, I'm going to show you something that I will show you. But will look attractive because she has the look for it. Show you this. Right here. Look at this coloring technique. Keep it still up long. Okay? Look, really, really good. Yeah? Correct? But accenting it. Because it's similar to like what you have.
Right.
See how she has some of the pieces already? So just accent it a little bit more on her, But keep it left long on yourself. Okay? The other thing is that I could share with you, which is important when it comes to clothing. I'd like to say this. Look at this, because her hair is long. If I do this, look how wide her face can look. But she's doing it smart, because she's doing this. So it narrows her in. So this is really, really important, because some people will buy blouses go like this. It can widen the face. So the thought would be is that the most common face shape in the world is heart. Every heart face shape will drop in the corners into square. When that happens, because it's going to happen, period, to the heart face shape, then they need to have fringes that go off to the side, and never straight across, because it will widen the face. Okay? You bet. So this is what we mean by when you come in to Inner Chi or to our salon, is being able and take advantage of what I'm offering, Limonera and all of them. I mean, you should end up taking that for your staff, because the thought is that if some people say, "Oh no, I want Billy," that's good, because then there's a special on there for the people, and it's just $270 in order to get done, by myself. And I'd like to say that that's not, I think that that's great for a lot of people at this time. So, is there any questions? I should do yourself. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Yeah, give me a. Because I'd like to know, which one did you choose?
I chose light blue and aquamarine.
Okay. And this is great because the reason why I'm saying this is great is because it's important for me to teach her she is olive skin. Okay? Very important, like my daughter's skin. Because my daughter is olive skin like you. Okay? In other words, you can tan in the summertime. Okay? But you can also get very fair and very pale. So knowing that, just to share with you, I'd have to say, look how attractive, this color looks on her, almost like what she kind of has already on her. Okay? The other thing is, do I have it? Yes. It's this lighter blue, which looks really pretty on her. Okay? Very pretty on her. So it's important that you don't wear gold. Like if you get earrings, not gold. It ends up having to be silver is better. The reason why it's important, because let's just say down the line, you don't want to get too ahead of us, because I don't want my daughter getting married tomorrow either. But if and when you get married, you need to make sure you speak up, because it needs to be platinum. Okay? Not gold. Why do I say this? Look at generations. The older generation, the more mature generation, the husband went out there to purchase the woman. He didn't know. He just bought gold because, hey, gold is everything. But gold might not look great on that woman. So you're a younger generation. You now know from this point on, I only wear white gold, platinum. Okay? But if you're at a tan, the hairs on your arms or your legs will turn gold. That's also an olive skin tone. It'll turn gold. Watch in the future. Or maybe you might even get it. My point is, it's wild because nowadays everybody's, they're hairless. So the thought would be is that you want to end up making sure that you always have skin. Okay? When it comes to your hair now, what colors did you choose?
I choose more of a sky blue and aquamarine.
Okay, an aquamarine. And that aquamarine, do you see blue or do you see green?
I see a bit more green.
Green, okay? So she's like wood, which would mean that I don't know how you are, but be social. Make sure that you speak. Get things off of your chest.
Don't worry about that.
So she is a speaker. Good. It's healthy. But remember, there's yin and yang. We have 2 ears. Sometimes it's important for us to just listen, than talk. But I would like to say, if you've got something great to say, then speak up and do say something. When it comes to your hair, I'd like to say that I would like to see it have more movement. Instead of it just being so one length, have it to where it is definitely layered up. Not layered up to where she can't pull it back, not layered up to where she doesn't get to learn how to work with her hair. Because you've got beautiful, beautiful hair. You do.
Thank you.
So the thought would be is that I would want you to be able to know how to work with it, because sometimes some people that are younger, they have a tendency, like we just ended up having a client come into the salon, and she is in high school, and she has a sister, and her sister has been learning how to work with her hair and is doing a great job. But the other sister has kind of frizzy hair, and she feels like, no, I can't do anything. So she started giving up. So then I stepped in, like I'm sharing with you, you've got great hair. All you have to do is put hot rollers in your hair. And hot rollers are so easy than trying to round brush your hair. You just get the hot roller and you just roll it all under. Just all under, everywhere. And what it will do is it will end up looking like that picture that I had showed. If you don't remember, I want you to see it. It will look identical to this picture. Okay? And I know she might say, you know what, it's not, yes it will. But it will have to end up being layered up a little bit. A little bit, not a lot, but enough so that it ends up stretching itself. And then she will be able to do it. And then you know what's going to happen? You're going to have so much fun doing your hair. I can guarantee you you're going to have more confidence in your whole overall look. So the thought would be is that, when you walk with that, whether you're young or older, because like I said, as one is maturing and they make a fall, lots of times they lose self-confidence. And I want people at all ages to have confidence. So I'd like to say you have great hair. Be careful. See how she's got the fringes? We have written that if somebody has a small forehead, no bangs. No bangs. Because if I push her hair off of her face, look how pretty she is. But yet when you push it down, it makes her face look all little. So no bangs. They need to kind of grow out, and maybe they can fall right around here. And why do I say here? Is if I go from her hairline to her temple, this is 1/3 of her face. This is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So her perfect one length is right around here, but I don't recommend it. But the reason why I say that to her is because if I go from her hairline to her perfect one length, which is here, this is where the bangs or the fringes can grow out to. But her layers should start right here down. Okay? So once again, a science that turns into an art form, which becomes a lot of fun. Okay? And then you all can come in on the $35 or $40 cut on Tuesdays, because that's our incentive to continue to keep on having the younger generation. So if you have anyone that is younger, send them in, and I don't mind once again having them come in on Bob's where I'll consult. But if they want me, of course, I'll care for them. But my recommendation will be is that you go in on that price range, and then I can tell them what to do. Okay?
All right.
Any questions?
Not that I can really think of.
She's a smart one, too.
Thank
You are.
you.
I know that you are. I bet you do well at school. I know you do. You do. So I want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And like I said, if you have friends, that would enjoy this experience, I'd like to have you please, share with them. Because as you are listening to me, I hope that you can, or I believe that you can see that I'm approachable. I know that they sometimes see these celebrity hairdressers that lots of times they feel like they're not approachable. Spiritually, that's why I know that our company started here in Ventura County, because it's an agricultural community, like we're here on our own, 100 almost 20 years of age. It's nice people, and everywhere I go, people want to look and feel great. So I thank you for the minutes and coming to our salon.
Thank you. I feel really nice.
Yeah, if you don't